Planet Earth! Oh god, my voice. It's a vlog where I'm not wearing a dressing gown. Hooray! Nearly didn't have a top on though. That would have been embarrassing. Because I got home. I've been in my work clothes for about 10 or 11 hours and the collar was... I don't know if you can see. If it's even a thing, yeah. You can see it's a little bit red around the edges just because the material that my shirt is made out of was just rubbing against my neck for a whole day. It might have been a bit tight, but what else, you know. And it's fucking cold up here, so don't worry if you see me shaking or doing this the entire time. We don't actually have heating up here. There's a radiator up here, big wide radiator, but until our boiler gets fixed, it's leaking at the moment. There's no way I can bleed this radiator enough to even get something through, so at the moment there's nothing. Which sucks, because it's majorly cold up here, but whatever, I don't care. I just don't care. It gets very damp in here as well. The moisture levels in this room alone are horrific, and I don't know why. I do know why, it's because there's no vents in the window or in the wall or any kind of damp proofing, but I've only got hundreds of pounds worth of guitars lying up against the wall. So, yeah, been at work all day. 11-ish till, I think 9:30, 10:45. 11-ish because I left at 10:30 with half an hour's walk to work. Had to stop by Wilkinson's, pick up some supplies, stop by the bank, pay my broadband bill. Ow! That's a little bit more painful than I was hoping. So... had a good day, finished. I've fitted a hearing induction loop system in the auditorium in the theatre. I can get current through it and I can get a signal through the microphone. I've got no way of testing whether it actually works or not, because I don't know anyone with a hearing aid. I don't have a hearing aid and I don't know if I can get a hearing aid or if it's worth getting one for the means of testing, you know? You know? So, yeah, it's work. It's all plugged in, and it's all hidden away, and all the cabling is very neatly run, and very cable tied, and very, you know, cable fitted up against the wall with the little cable clips that you hammer in. Programmed in some lights for the show that we've got in. We've got a dance school coming in to do some acting, weirdly enough. Well, no, they're a performing arts school who also do dance, probably more well known for the dance, but the acting's quite good. I think kids up to about 16, maybe. They're doing The Witches by Roald Dahl. One of my favourite kids authors. Yeah, went okay. Couple of cock-ups. The key thing to learn with lighting, and indeed with technical in general, is to stick the landing, as they say. To stick the landing, let's go way, way basic, is if you're ever doing gymnastics and you jump, you do an amazing, beautiful flip, and you land, and then you go, whoa, 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 I'm alright, that marks you down scores. Apply that to the technical field, specifically in my case, lighting, but you can, of course, adjust. If you are cued by a director to bring the light up on the left, you bring in the light up on the left and they suddenly go, oh no, I mean the centre, don't do it yet. What are you going to do? Bring, oh look, lights, oh no, no lights. No, you've got to roll with it. You absolutely have to roll with the mistakes that you make. So you bring it up and then you gradually adjust the centre with maybe a slight dim in the middle so it looks slightly more organic. The audience will know a lot more if you are doing a rapid change of states, like, oh, no, it's come up pink, it's supposed to be blue, okay, no, what you do is you bring it up pink and slowly bring in the blue and fade out the pink, you know, you've got to make slower adjustments to make it a more natural environment. So, that's my defence of why I fucked up. No, it was a good night, working with some really good people this time around. They'll be out by tomorrow, or at the very least Sunday. I'm like, I've got the morning off tomorrow. Wow! I get to go at 3! There've been a group busting my balls about an anniversary gig. Not specifically the person directing it. Bust my balls closer to the time. For the love of God, I'm busy. I just spent 11 hours at work. I'm tired. I want to go to bed. Yeah. So that's my life. Not much more to say other than that. I'm probably going to spend tomorrow chilling, playing video games, eating, exercising, because I feel fat at the moment. I'm currently saving up, or I'm trying to save up, okay, for a new keyboard. And seeing the kind of gear that I've got at the moment, you think, really, Aaron? Really? More equipment? Got an 8-string as well. Look at that beauty. That was an incredible buy, actually, the 8-string. Best buy I think I've ever made recently. My first 7-string trumps that, only because that's a purchase I needed to make since starting to play guitar. That took about 4 or 5 years to sort of amass some knowledge and the wealth, and to be honest, I needed to justify it by being vaguely good at guitar. But getting a 7-string guitar, when I did get a 7-string guitar, meant that I could learn to play a 7-string, and as a result get better at playing 6-string, and generally get better at guitar playing in general. I find that my technique improved, actually, when I bought an acoustic 12-string, which is lovely. That was about £12 in cash gen. Failure in the markup. Good job. I love stupid people. And the 8-string was really a very smart step up from that, because now I've got the full range that I want. There's no way I'm ever going to want to go down lower. You know, maybe to F, maybe to E. Not really, you know. I kind of want to stick with the F-sharp range. I've got enough on there that I can utilise just the 7th and bring in the A for flourishes. And I've got enough to do the same on 6 and bring in the 7th for flourishes and indeed the 8th. So it's all about what you make of the instrument, because I know a lot of people who are like, ooh, you can only play gent and grindcore on 8-string guitars. I write pop music. It's essentially dancey, disco-y kind of metal, almost, with a leniency towards death metal a little bit. But the reason I'm buying a new keyboard, to reel it back, is because one of the keyboards I've always wanted. I saw one of my idols, Jordan Rudess, playing it on a demo of some of his album, which was new at the time, called The Wheel of Time, I think, yeah. Fan. Anyway, and he was using the Korg Triton Extreme, and I want to get just a regular Korg Triton Extreme if I fancy building up the extra 400 quid. But the original I found floating between about 350 to 500 quid on the internet, so if I can get a Korg Triton or a Korg Triton Studio, I'll be happy, very happy money indeed, because a Korg is what I'm missing at the moment. I've no desire for a Casio. I've always loved the warmth that comes from a Yamaha, and I've got the one that I'm using that's currently at my singer's house that I used to rehearse with, if I ever need to record with it. But I've no need for any kind of analog synthesis or analog emulation. There we go. Because I've got it on here. This has cut off, resonance, attack, decay, sustain. Not sustain, but release. Yeah, it's built into the decay. And I also run Z3ta, the I can't remember who produces it, but yeah, the VST plugin Z3ta+. I think they're on Z3ta 2 now. I should probably upgrade. But I bought that a little while ago. Actually, that was the first VST I ever purchased, along with my first actual keyboard, which was a CME MIDI controller. Hence why I needed the synth. That's great, actually. If you're into software synths, I really, really fucking recommend getting Z3ta. And if you're not into it, that's a really fucking good place to start, actually, for as far as changing sounds and warping them to what you fancy, and learning sort of the fundamentals between assigning resonance and cutoff to modulation, doing incredible things with, you know, release times and adding octaves, that sort of, it's a really versatile synth program, and it's yeah, that's my endorsement. Ow. Really tender. I've been exercising an abnormal amount. Yeah, and I feel that I can really do with sort of, this is my library of sounds that I can get with the VSTs that I have, the synths and keyboards and, you know, little controllers that are up there. Not controllers. I don't know what they are. Modules. Who knows? With the Korg, that's an entirely different soundscape. That's sort of over here somewhere. And I would love to just sort of expand my bubble of sonic capabilities to that, because the kind of spectrum of sound you can get from a Korg, especially the Triton, less the LE, specifically the Studio, the Triton, or the Extreme. My voice today. It's a very bright but accessible tone. And the range as well. Again, the things you can do with the sampling on a Triton, from what I've seen, is exactly what I need and exactly what I'm looking for, because this doesn't sample. It's got what it's got on board, and you can load changes and stuff onto it via remote MIDI, but I find it easier to do it on its own interface. But it's about hit its limit for me, for what I can do, and this is one of the best instruments I've ever bought, you know, second to the 7-string, the 8-string, the 12-string guitar, and this. Because this is also the most expensive thing I've ever bought at £300. Believe it or not. This is a rescue. There's a bass over there I'm borrowing. I've never spent more than £200 on a guitar. I've got an 88 key controller just behind the camera, actually, that cost 60 quid. This Keytar, again. Come on, behave. Yeah, Keytar, cheap as shit. At the Ripod cost of £200, brand new. Amazing buy if you're in the market for a Keytar. It's just a controller. It's nothing fancy at all, but it is battery powered, it's USB, it's got a ribbon, and most importantly for me, it's got an actual pitch bend. You know, one that you can physically grasp hold of. I've talked about music for far too long, but that's an insight into what I like to do with my life, and for the next couple of months, what I should be saving for is a Korg Triton. So if any dealers want to hook me up, I'll endorse that shit. I really will. Not that, you know, there's any reputation to come from a ranter on the internet endorsing. I'm gonna go before I offend someone. Thanks for watching. Hopefully see you tomorrow. I ache all over.